Now this is a continuation from the earlier two videos. The last thing I'm going to show you is how do you calculate the acceleration using velocity time graph. Now, I'm going to include every single detail to show you how velocity is determined, including the units. Okay. So using this graph that's shown here, we first identify two sets of coordinates. I'm not going to use the coordinates above, so I'm just going to find new coordinates. Right, so the first set of coordinates I'm going to use is this. Time equals 2 seconds, velocity equals 1 meter per second. The other set of coordinates I'm going to use will be at 4. Right. So at time equals 8 seconds, velocity equals 4 meters per second. Okay. Now using this set of coordinates, how do I determine the acceleration of the velocity time graph? Sorry, how do I determine acceleration using the gradient of the velocity time graph? And you notice I use the word gradient again. So at your level, when you talk about gradient, is rise over run. Okay, rise over run. That's your rise. And that's the run. Okay, just focus on the red lines, the red dotted lines. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, time cannot decrease, so time increases. So time increases from 2 seconds to 8 seconds. Right? So it's 8 minus 2, 6 seconds. Now, when time increases from 2 seconds to 8 seconds, velocity increase from 1 meter per second to 4 meters per second. So you take 4 minus 1, give you 3 meters per second. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll write it out to let you see clearly. Okay. When time increases from 2 seconds to 8 seconds, velocity increases from 1 meter per second to 4 meter per second. Alright. Okay, so that's how you get 4 minus 1. Final minus initial. And hence, acceleration equals gradient of VT graph. Acceleration equals gradient of VT graph, which gives you rise over run. And the rise will be 3 over 6. That'll give you 0.5. Sorry, forgot to include the unit. So that is 3 meter per second over 6 seconds. And that'll give you 3 over 6 will be 0.5 meter per second, and that'll give you 0.5 meter per second square. And that's how you get the acceleration using gradient of VT graph. If you understood how meter per second become meter per second squared, you can stop the video now. Otherwise, I'll just spend the next few seconds showing you how to get it. So meter per second is equals to meter per second divided by second, which is equals to meter per second times 1 over second equals meter per second square. That's how you get meter per second square.